Bristol. A half-mile high-speed strip of concrete known as the Roman Coliseum of NASCAR racing.
It's the closest I've ever seen to entering the Roman Coliseum.
Names like Christopher, Miller, Stefanik, and Brunhosel are the gladiators riding these open-wheeled chariots as they do battle.
By the grace of God and 600 horsepower.
Tonight, the force of the North take on the bad boys of the South.
Tooth and nail, hammer and tong.
Thunder Valley is going to roar with the sounds of 600 horsepower.
Green flag.
It's a clash of the titans tonight for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour.
Wow. Oh.
And the NASCAR Whelen Southern Modified Tour.
Stand on the gas, risk it all.
3 wide.
And it's all happening now.
Now, for something you'll really like.
On Speed.
Welcome to Thunder Valley and the University of Northwestern Ohio Perfect Storm 150 on Speed with the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour and the NASCAR Whelen Southern Modified Tour. This is literally Thunder Valley today. Yes, it's 79 degrees. The humidity equals that. There are some light breezes that may blow some storm clouds our way. But it sounds like a cliche, but folks, all the thunder and lightning is going to be right here, right inside Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Mike Joy with Dick Berggren. Between us, there's probably 95 years of watching modified racing, and you never get tired of this. These are fantastic cars. They weigh about 80% what a Cup car does. They have about 50% more tire than a Sprint Cup car has. They have almost as much horsepower. Thunder and lightning? Yeah, that's the ticket.
Yeah, and the drivers, I think it's fair to say, are abnormally brave. And talking to the drivers here today, it seemed as if everybody was talking about trying to win this race. For most of them, this is the biggest race that they will run all year long. Championship points don't matter. The win, that's what it's all about.
There are 2 titles to be decided this year. Martinsville used to be the mecca of the modifieds. We'd go there 3 times a year. But now it seems that Bristol, the only combination race that these tours have together, has really taken on the title of Super Bowl.
Well, this place has got sparkle, Mike, and it's got incredible history. And just to win at Bristol, to go home with that trophy and say that you've won at this very tough racetrack is a big deal to anybody, but particularly these guys who only get to race here once a year.
All right, let's have a look at the point standings coming into Bristol. First for the Whelen Modified Tour, Ted Christopher, a former Whelen All-American champion. On top, Bobby Santos had a lead of over 100 points and lost it. Mike Stefanik has a championship ring in this series for each finger. Ronnie Silk, Todd Zagidy's been fast. Ryan Preece and Eric Rudolph, up-and-comers. They're the top 7. Now, let's go down to Bob Dillner on pit road.
Mike Joy, a new kid on the block, on the pole here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. I knew this kid when he was about that tall. Now he's about that tall. Justin Bonson, you're on the pole here. What does it mean to do that here at the Bristol Motor Speedway?
This is just the biggest race of the year. This is the biggest honor. I mean, I've won races in go-karts, stock cars, and there's nothing like this. You know, a win will seal the deal tonight, but this is a good day so far.
You're a rookie on the tour this year. What's the goal for today?
Well, as long as we can save our equipment, be there at the end, and we think we got a really good chance to win this. You know, we'll take a top 5, but we really want the win tonight.
Mike Joy, what would it be like for a rookie to win here at the Bristol Motor Speedway?
Well, everybody in Riverhead, Long Island will be cheering, that's for sure. L.W. Miller has a Whelen Southern Modified Tour championship. He won the series last race, put him in the point lead. James Savali had trouble at Bowman Gray. He is second. Andy Seiss, John Smith, a strong third last race out, and Burt Myers ahead of Zach Brewer and Frank Fleming. They're the top 7 in the South standings. Back to Bob.
Burt Myers, 5th in Southern Whelen Modified Tour points right now. He's driving a car that he calls the Blackout, but he'll have to start at the rear of the field today because he had an unapproved change to his car after qualifying. So how big is this race for the entire modified community, and how big will it be coming from the rear of the field here today?
Well, it's going to be tough for us, but I tell you, this is the race. This is the race that everybody wants to win. It's the Daytona 500 for these cars, and, you know, it's a real privilege to be able to race at a facility like this, and hey, we're going to make it exciting coming from the rear.
I'll tell you what, if you take a look at the front end of this machine, they got a big old chrome horn there. They call it by the grace of God and 600 horsepower. That's what the mantra of these modified drivers, and that's what they live by.
Myers told us he had only 7 cylinders in his Ford engine during qualifying, at least only 7 firing. They replaced a spark plug, and that was the big change. So it's North versus South, and oh yes, a wild card. The Rocket is in the field and starting 4th, driving for Sprint Cup crew chief Kevin Mannion. This is going to be fun, and you'll see it right here on Speed next. Thunder Valley, the Roman Coliseum of racing, Bristol, Tennessee, ready for the romp and stomp of NASCAR's Whelen Modifieds. Nice crowd given the weather, a lot of storm clouds and a little bit of sunshine and blue sky. And a lot of action about to take place on this racetrack. Let's go trackside for the command.
Race fans, to hear the most famous words in NASCAR, please welcome Dick Sugar, the Board of Trustees from UNOH. Dick?
We certainly wish each and every one of you a wonderful evening, and the drivers a wonderful race of safety all the way. Drivers, start your engine.
You're going to ride with a Rocket tonight. Brian Newman will carry our onboard camera as these open wheel machines, the original NASCAR racing division, is ready to roll. Todd Zegedy there. He will share the front row with Justin Bonsignori, the rookie driver who pipped him by 8/1000ths of a second. Bobby Santos, there's Newman. James Savali, Ted Christopher will battle from row 3. Mike Stefanik, lots of titles there. Ryan Preece for the Bowlers, longtime car owner standouts. Eric Goodale, Ron Silk, Eric Rudolph, a newcomer, and Andy Seiss from New Hampshire, but racing the Southern Tour.
And Silk has got half of his finishes in the top 5 this year without winning any of them, Mike.
Goodale and Hochfeld, Brewer and Brown, who battle at Bowman Gray on a weekly basis. L.W. Miller and Dale Quarterly, who won the modified race at Lime Rock Park.
Former motorcycle racer.
Ed Flemke Jr., second-generation standout. George Brunholzel's a third-generation star. Eric Beers, Rob Summers, Jason Myers, and Frank Fleming. Burt Myers, Jason's brother. Brian Dowsett. Gene Pack is the oldest driver in the field at 50-something.
Yeah, and Renee Dupuis, the only female driver in the race.
John Smith, who finished 3rd at Bowman Gray. Brandon Heyer, Rowan Penning. Greg Butcher, Richie Pillai Jr., a rookie. Wade Cole has been on this tour for many years. His dad, a car owner long before that. And Jamie Tomeno, the 1990 champion.
His daughter jacks the car on pit stops.
Andy Petrie failed to make the field, as did Gary Fontaine from Orlando. Bristol Motor Speedway, steeply banked, 24 to 30 degree variable banking, 6 to 10 in the straightaways. And I just ran into Donnie Leah downstairs. He'll start 10th in the truck race later tonight. He says, gosh, I wish I was running in the modifieds tonight also. He won it last year. Let's have a look at the speed spotlight first. Downstairs to Bob Dillner.
Well, Mike Joy, they've always called drivers from Long Island, New York, part of the Long Island gang. Tonight we have 2 in the top 10 starting spots. Justin Bonsignor on the pole. And the guy that will start 10th here today, 24-year-old Eric Goodale. Last year here at Bristol around the high banks, he went from 31st starting spot to 11th. He's 24 years old, as I said, and he works at his dad's Riverhead Building Supply. One of the low buck guys in this sport trying to do well. How much would a victory be here for this guy right here? It would be like David versus Goliath, and he plans to go to the front. Dick?
And car number 13, Teddy Christopher, 52 years old, from Plainville, Connecticut, a Ford engine under the hood of that car. This guy has won more races in a modified the last 10 years than anybody. A total of 78 wins at Thompson Speedway, 108 at Stafford Speedway, more than any other driver in all the years that racetrack has been open. He qualified on the pole for this race last year, finished second when he adjusted himself out of competition at the halfway point, and we are going to have a halfway break again tonight.
I'm going to take you back to the 9th row to spotlight L.W. Miller in the Baker Plumbing and Utilities Pontiac. He won at the Madhouse, Bowman Gray Stadium, the Tour race just a week ago. Made a nice move on Burt Myers to win it in the closing laps and drove away from Myers, and that's not easy to do at the Madhouse. Miller put on new tires and it slowed the car down, so he starts deep in the field, but he is a patient, thinking driver. If he can find a way to the front, he'll get there. You're going to ride with the Rocket this evening. Ryan Newman driving for Bono Mannion. And there's the look. You'd think that big air cleaner would get in your view all the time, and the first time you sit in one of these modifieds, it does. And after that, don't worry about it. There's the look over the rear spoiler, which is made of Lexan, so following drivers can see. And there's the look out under the rear bumper. 150 laps, 80 miles around Bristol for NASCAR's Whelen Modifieds. One lap to green flag racing. Let's go back downstairs to another lifelong modified fan and get a late word from Bob Dillner.
Mike Joy, keep an eye on the number 4 car of Bobby Santos III here today. Donnie Leah drove that car to victory lane last year. Bobby Santos drives everything with 4 wheels. He's been to Winchester, Salem, you name it, midgets and Silver Crown cars. He said to me today that this track isn't as intense as he thought it would be. It's almost like everything's in slow-mo. Well, I bet you that slow-mo is about to get real fast here on the high banks.
Ford Mustang GT pace car is going to leave him at turn 3. Bristol Cup rules pretty much in effect. Under green, pit on the straightaway where your pit is. Under caution, enter in turn 2, come all the way around.
Bonsignor, a rookie here at Bristol. He had never turned a lap until this morning's 8 a.m. practice. He is 22 years old. Let's see how he does tonight.
Bonsignor and Szegedy on the front row. Green flag, and the University of Northwest Ohio Perfect Storm 150 is underway with Szegedy taking a quick lead. Newman side by side for second with Bonsignor. Christopher looking on in the red car from 4th.
Szegedy, your leader, another of the several drivers with a Ford engine under the hood of his car. He was the 2003 Tour champion in this series.
Priest in 5th, Savali 6th, Stefanik 7th, Santos, Silk, and Goodale the top 10. Good clean start to this race. Well, Todd Szegedy wasted no time in getting on the button. It was a good even start at the line, but Szegedy just took off.
Yeah, he got into that first turn in a hurry, Mike.
Savali coming on the bottom in the 79. He brings the Roger and Sandra Hill machine underneath the 3 of Ryan Priest.
Well, he came here 3 times to test, and in those tests he was very, very fast. And indeed, in practice today, Savali broke the Sprint Cup track record with that car.
Now Mike Stefanik making the try on Priest for what is now 6th place, with Santos in the yellow car to follow. Priest good off the corner, Stefanik good going in. Mike Stefanik is a master at resource management as Priest bounces off the wall, but continues under green. Santos, the yellow number 4, passes on the outside. Nick, these tires are so wide and have so much grip that you can get the car into quite a yaw angle without losing it, being able to bring it back.
Yeah, but unfortunately, when that yaw angle becomes excessive, hang on, it will go. We're going to watch Priest in that blue number 3 car. He did bounce it off the wall for sure.
I like the way Santos never lost his momentum, never lifted, powered right on by. So Stefanik moves up to 6th, Santos 7th, Priest drops to 8th, Silk and Goodale the top 10. Szegedy continues to lead over Bonsignor, Christopher, Newman, and Savali. Here's your top half dozen.
Zero car of Butcher, first to go a lap down. He's slow on the racetrack. No doubt will be coming in soon.
10 of 150 laps complete. Todd Szegedy in command since the drop of the green flag. But now Bonsignor is beginning to reel in the number 2. Here's second place. Christopher closely tracking the rookie. And Christopher's probably run more races as Bonsignor has seen.
Yeah, he probably has. Bonsignor got ready for this race, Mike, by playing the iRacing game on his computer. Teddy Christopher did it by racing 20 years in these cars and winning championships at multiple speedways.
Andy Seiss in trouble on pit road as we continue under green. And Christopher gives a little tap. Well, we have caution on the front straightaway because Brandon Heyer has spun in the 44. First caution flag of the night. And it comes out for the crane and rigging lineback machinery. Chevrolet. Owned by Brian Fischel. And driven by Brandon Heyer.
And he's going to have to pit. He's got rub rail rubbing on that right rear tire, so he's going to have to be in the pits and get that taken care of. He's on his way.
Here's the tail end of this one.
Just lost it all by himself. Easy enough to do. I'll tell you, in practice there were an awful lot of people spinning, and the place to do it was coming off turn 4. Driver after driver this morning, especially in the first practice, got themselves sideways, and many of them got themselves into the wall as well.
Brandon Heyer behind the wall, Andy Seiss with the hood up on pit road, and Todd Szegedy in command in the University of Northwestern Ohio Perfect Storm 150. Tonight, the battle is in Bristol. The world's toughest trucks bump, beat, and bang around the world's fastest half mile. The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series is live from Bristol tonight. Next, only on Speed. Todd Bodine, the point leader, and Kyle Busch, the pole winner, but a cracked valve cover will cause him to start that race from the rear. We'll hear all about it on the setup. Andy Seiss comes back on track. Bob, what happened?
Still having difficulty with that engine right now. Right now it's missing for Andy Seiss, a family-owned operation out of New Hampshire. They don't know what the cause of it is, Mike. They checked the spark plug wires, can't seem to find the problem right now. So he's just going to bide his time and try to get to that problem at the halfway break.
That is the only Dodge-powered car in the field.
And it's an old engine. That was an ex-Ray Evernham Cup engine. Rowan Pennick has gone into the pits for adjustments. He has struggled with that car all day long. The car is simply unstable. Pennick, a terrific driver, but he's got to have the car under him.
John Smith also made a pit stop, third place finisher Bowman Gray. The order for the restart. Now side by side, the leader gets lane choice, and Todd Szegedy chose the bottom against Bonsignor, then Christopher and Ryan Newman, Savali and Stefanik, Santos and Priest, and we're back under green.
Boy, Szegedy got a restart, didn't he? He just took off.
Christopher now in second. Bonsignor third. Savali fourth. Newman fifth. Stefanik, Santos, Silk, Priest, and Goodale. There's that 10th place battle. Goodale in the 58. And Eric Rudolph in the Al Henke and Tommy Baldwin, number 98. Henke Baldwin Racing.
Yeah, and actually that's the second car he has had to run here. He stuffed it in the wall in the first practice today, the other car. It's sitting in the infield.
Tommy Baldwin, son of a modified standout, Tiger Tom, and now a Cup team owner after many years as a crew chief. But still has that love of modified racing. It brings them back to the track. Goodale going to try to make the charge on Ronnie Silk. Gets underneath Silk's number 6. Trying to come back to the front, Ryan Priest. Silk drops in, covers the spot. So Priest in the blue 3 is 10th. Here are the leaders. And Christopher fills up the mirror. Todd Szegedy, this is a familiar sight.
It is. I think every driver that runs a modified has seen Teddy Christopher in their mirror. Ordinarily on the tour, however, the number that they would see would be 36. But L.W. Miller also runs 36. He is a South driver, and NASCAR gave him the number and told Teddy he had to change his number because at the time Teddy was second in points and L.W. led.
So Teddy went back to the number he used in weekly short track racing, number 13.
Yeah, it still does.
Now, you feel the presence of Ted Christopher behind you. And then he taps your bumper. And then he wants a run, and here he comes. He has 3 wins this season, including the last tour race at Thompson, Connecticut.
He is just a piece of work to watch, isn't he? Look at him. He is on the high side, the bottom. He's in Zegedy's back bumper. But I'll tell you what, this Zegedy's a cool character. He's not going to get rattled even by Teddy Christopher. Look at this on the bottom now, Mike.
And after a little rub of the bumper, Christopher goes by, and he's the new leader. Ted has an interesting rule about dealing with people he wants to pass. He says 1 bump to let you know I'm there, 2 to tell you I'm ready, and if you don't give me room, the 3rd bump puts you around. So long, you know. That's racing. And now Christopher pulls away. 3rd place is the battle. Savali underneath and past the rookie Bonsignor.
Yeah, I expected to see Savali go very well here tonight. He was so enthusiastic about that car during practice today, Mike. He really thinks he's got a car that's capable of winning this race.
Bob talked to Burt Myers at the top of the show. He is running a Yates Racing Ford engine, or a Roush Yates engine, under the hood of his number 1. Started at the back because of the spark plug change. There's Burt in that black and orange number 1. Moving up, he's in 20th, just ahead. Woody Pitkat in the 28. Ed Flemke Jr. in the yellow number 10. And in front of Flemke is the 36 of L.W. Miller, who has not made much of a gain through this field.
No, and he's got to get going on this thing, Mike.
They are in the back straightaway. Now the front stretch, just about half a lap behind race leader Ted Christopher.
Renee Dupuis has brought her car into the garage area.
And Mike Stefanik starts making some noise. He wants 4th place from Bonsignor.
Yeah, and you could expect a lot from Mike Stefanik. He has become an energized race car driver. This team has got everything they need in order to win races and to win championships. And he is getting better and better and better as this year has unfolded. 3rd in points at this moment.
He's driven a lot of years for Eric Sanderson's team. With Sly Zabin as crew chief. They've won championships and they've struggled. They're running well here.
Well, Stefanik has won 7 championships, and I asked him earlier today how he was going to handle this race, whether it was for the championship or whether it was going to be to win. And he said, I'm going to quote you, "We're here to win the race. This is Bristol. It's so big to win here."
Bob?
Well, that's exactly right, Dick. Mike Stefanik told me the same thing, and he wants a win bad. It's been since the fall, since he won at Martinsville. Mike Stefanik is accustomed to winning, but he's also accustomed to be a consistent driver. In 400 career starts, more than half of them have been top 10 finishes. He said he doesn't care about that now. Like you said, Dick, he wants the big trophy in victory lane.
Burt Myers on the outside. He's got Eddie Flemke, and now he's got L.W. Miller. So Blackout is moving forward as Burt Myers climbs to 18th after starting in the back. Up front, Ted Christopher is only the 2nd leader of this race. Todd Zegedy led the first 26 circuits. Teddy's been out front for 12. The Plainville, Connecticut ace seems to have things in hand for the moment. 38 of 150 laps complete at Bristol. Welcome back to Speed's coverage of the University of Northwestern Ohio Perfect Storm 150 for NASCAR's Whelen Modified Tours. You are riding with Ryan Newman, who currently runs in 6th place behind Mike Stefanik. Bob?
Ryan Newman going around this racetrack. He told the guys, I'm playing the waiting game right now. They want to be patient. Remember, Ryan Newman out in the early part of this race last year. He thinks he has a pretty darn good race car, but at the same time, that crew believes the track will come to them in the second half. He says that's when you're going to see everybody go for broke here as that second crew, the outside, comes in as he goes 3 wide to make a move around Stefanik.
Going to make that pass this time. Try it again, shove it down in turn number 1, and the car slips up just a bit.
Now Newman is 1 for 1 this year. One prior start, that at New Hampshire, beat Teddy Christopher on the very last lap to win it. Newman's track record in this kind of racing has been wreckers or checkers. Either he is right up front or he goes home on the hook. There's nothing to do with points in this team. It is all about trying to win the race, so they go all out to do just that. Look at the right front suspension in that car, Mike. Look at the amount of movement that they get.
Working hard. As is Ted Christopher in the 13. The Alley Installation Chevrolet of Eddie Whelen. Christopher, the leader, started 6th. Todd Zegedy's the number 2. The UNOH Whisk Snuggle 4 trying to keep him in sight. James Savali is 2.3 seconds off the lead. He drives for Sandra and Roger Hill. Roger, a longtime modified driver in the number 79. Now Savali has the controls of that car, and the Hill's son David is the crew chief.
Yeah, and they race out of the North, but they're running the South Series this year, trying to win the championship.
Bit of a dust up here for position. That bright color number 25 is John Smith. He's trying to work his way past Pit Cat. That's at about 13th position.
Smith, the prior winner this year as well, Mike.
Now I believe Andy Sice has laps down 5 to be exact in the 47, but he is running competitive speed in the middle of that pack. The 6, Ronnie Silk, slips up the track a bit. These cars are fun to watch because every action of the driver is seen to the fan in the direction of those front wheels.
And they move around so much as well. I mean, these cars are anything but smooth. We've got problems on the backstretch.
And this will be the second caution of the race, and that's Gene Pack in the 31. Regular at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem. Spun down the back straightaway.
Virtually all the problems, all the accidents we've seen here in practice and so far in the race have been coming off the corners. That's the hardest part for the drivers of these cars.
Well, we're thrilled to have aerial coverage here tonight, Dick, so let's have a look at what happened at Gene Pack.
Ooh, well, there you go. A little bumper into bumper, and around he went.
That was a bump 'em, thump 'em, and dump 'em.
Yeah, it was.
Who was the offender? That would have been Ronnie Silk.
Silk, yeah.
Want to see what this looks like in real time? The driver has little time to react when something like that happens.
Just a touch. Just the slightest touch, and around he went.
It wasn't really a dump him. It looked like Silk
No.
was trying to move to the outside lane, and Pack just wasn't quick enough for him to get around.
Oh, and it's hard to judge the length of these cars as well, Mike. You look at how far back the driver sits in relation to where the front bumper is, and you're trying to run an inch, a half an inch off the back bumper of another car.
Gene Pack is able to continue. 57 of 150 laps, 80 miles the distance tonight at Bristol. Saturday NASCAR race day rolls into Bristol. Join JR, Kenny, Kyle, Wendy, and Hermie. They'll give you the ultimate setup before NASCAR's best battle at Thunder Valley. NASCAR race day built by the Home Depot, live from Bristol, Saturday at 5 Eastern. Only on Speed. We're under caution for the second time. This one for Gene Pack spin off the front bumper of Ronnie Silk. Now Todd Zegedy runs second. He led early, Bob.
Well, a real interesting program that Todd Zegedy and this team is doing with the University of Northwestern Ohio. Down here in the pits, they have 4 people who are in school at the University of Northwestern Ohio that are part of the team, and it's part of their internships program. In fact, they have a great motorsports program at UNO. In fact, they've placed people in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series as well. So they're getting an education down here on pit road in this NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour race at Bristol with Zegedy.
And later tonight, a couple of those students will be pitting the 12 truck of Mario Goslin in tonight's Camping World Series truck race. For more information, The University of Northwestern Ohio can be found at the website you just saw, unoh.edu. Ready for the restart. That is Rob Summers heading for pit road, as is the pace car. Here comes the field. Christopher, Szegedy, Savali, Stefanik, Bonsignor, Newman, Santos, Goodale, green flag. Nobody wants to give an inch.
No, and Szegedy before had just won every single restart, but not this time, not with Teddy Christopher beside him. Although he's gaining the measure now on the outside. Szegedy has got the lead.
Christopher slots in second in the red 13. Savali is third. Stefanik in the 16 fourth, and Newman in that bright green and blue number 7 is fifth. Bonsignor, Goodale, Quarterly, Santos, and Rudolph, the top 10. Bob?
Hey guys, here's a little secret that Todd Szegedy told me right before the race. During practice today, he practiced almost exclusively on the outside groove. He said, if I want to win this race, I believe I need to run well on the outside. Teddy Christopher pulling down to the bottom right now, but he thinks it'll pay dividends by the end of this race.
Well, it may, but Christopher found an opening and quickly took advantage and retook the lead. Zach Brewer, that's the red 11 coming off pit road and back into the race. And Christopher legs it out. Szegedy did not get off turn 2 well that time.
No, he didn't. And the bottom has really been the place to run tonight, Mike, in no small part because that's where the rubber is. That's where the practicing has been done today. And that bottom lane is incredibly fast.
Top 10, pretty much nose to tail, but for Christopher, as you watch Newman chase Stefanik. The Sanderson-McLeod machine.
Ryan Newman has a nationwide win here. Last year he crashed out early.
Boy, Szegedy slipped up top for a moment. There's Savali backing up. James Savali there at 4th place. Newman in bright green trying to take advantage. Side by side for second. Stefanik is going to get it. He had the patience. He waited. He picked his spots. But now the championship winningest driver on this tour in active competition is going to hunt down Teddy Christopher.
70 wins Mike Stefanik has in a long career driving these cars. His wife ordinarily is his spotter. She is back home in Rhode Island tonight. Spotter tonight is Butch Sevenin.
Savali looks to the inside of Szegedy. Nothing there. Szegedy running right in the middle of the racetrack, while the first 2 cars, Christopher and Stefanik, right, as you said, in the bottom groove. It's about 1.8 seconds from first to second because all that battling for second has allowed Christopher to squirt away. Don't forget, in just a couple of laps, we're going to have the yellow flag for the halftime break. Similar to the Sprint Cup All-Star race, teams will come to pit road and they'll have 5 minutes to make any adjustments they could normally make on a pit stop.
Got to leave the hood on, got to leave the back deck on, but you can change the wedge, you can put some fuel in it. Everybody's going to put tires on the car for sure for the run to the checker.
Halfway, next time by. There's Newman in 5th, and pole sitter Bonsignor is who you're looking at from under the back bumper of Ryan Newman. Halfway being shown to the field.
That's a great shot, isn't it?
I love it.
I mean, you realize just how awesome these cars are in a picture like that.
And the caution flag for halftime waves on the field. Ted Christopher the leader, Mike Stefanik, Todd Szegedy, James Savali, and Ryan Newman are your front 5. There's Christopher. James Bonsignor, Dale Quarterly, the road racer and ex-motorcycle racer, having a fine run here in 7th. Eric Goodale, Bobby Santos III, and Woody Pitkat, the top 10. There are 16 cars on the lead lap, the rest of them being Burt Myers, Eric Rudolph, Ryan Preece, Chuck Housefield, Tim Brown, George Brunholzl, and Ronnie Silk. We'll be back and see what happens at halftime. Ted Christopher leading at Bristol. Halftime. No, it's not college football, though they could play it in the new infield here in Bristol. It's the University of Northwestern Ohio Perfect Storm 150 for NASCAR's Whelen Modified Tour and Whelen Southern Modified Tour. Ted Christopher is our leader. Mike Stefanik second. Todd Szegedy, James Savali, Ryan Newman are the first 5 of 17. Make that 18 cars on the lead lap. Out of the race, Zach Brewer, Rowan Pennick, Butcher, Dupuis, and Heyer are off the track. Bob Dillner is down on pit road.
And Mike, we're with Mike Stefanik inside the cockpit of his race car during this halfway break. Mike, you're looking pretty good. What do you need to beat that 13 car?
Well, what we're going to try to do, I think, is just free this up a little bit. We're a little tight center off, so we're going to see what the tire stagger looks like and probably make an adjustment for that there.
Mike Stefanik has won 70 NASCAR Modified Tour events. Right in front of him is the 47 of Andy Seiss. We've noted his engine problems during this race, but Bobby Santos III, right now he's been a little bit tight as well in a car he calls the Big Show. He's got 3 wins on the year, so they're going to try to loosen that car up a little bit. Now the car that looks really good out in this racetrack, James Savali, he doesn't want to do too much to this race car. They call the Stealth Bomber. This is a brand new paint scheme for the 79, and Savali here will mosey on up to Teddy Christopher and try to get a word with him as his team makes adjustments to his race car right now. Teddy Christopher, well, we're actually talking to Teddy Christopher here. He's trying to get the net down, and Teddy in the lead right now. The car looks dynamite. What adjustments are you going to make, and do you think you can keep this streak up in the second half of the race?
Yeah, we're probably not going to change too much of the thing. It's just getting a little bit free right when I get to the throttle, but you know, been a great car, so we'll see if we can keep maintaining it.
Mike Stefanik really coming on strong. There's a couple guys behind you. Who are you worried about, Teddy?
Not really anybody right now.
That's Teddy Christopher. Never worried about anybody, guys. He's only worried about numero uno.
I would expect no less. Christopher led 110 laps of this race last year and finished second. Here's the pass for the lead at lap 27.
Just nice and smooth. I just love the way he drives. It's so much fun to watch Teddy Christopher. He's so good with these modifieds.
Next race for the Whelen Southern Modified Tour, Caraway Speedway, August 28th. Next race for the Whelen Modified Tour will be right here on Speed, or come see it live at Loudon, New Hampshire, New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Mod Squad, September 18th, 1 p.m., live on Speed. Go back to Bob.
Down here with Todd Szegedy, who slipped just a little bit in the first part of this race. Todd, what seems to be the deal with the race car, and what adjustments are you going to make it better in this halfway break?
I think I started out a little snug, and I stayed snug, and then when I made that power move on the outside of Teddy, I think I killed the right front, and I had nothing left there, so we made a couple little adjustments, made it a little bit more neutral, and hopefully we can get a couple spots here at the end and put this UNOH Ford Mustang up front.
Couple of adjustments for Todd Szegedy, but do you think you can bring it back to the front here?
I think so. You can pass. The outside is good. I like the outside a lot. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can make a bonsai move on the first lap.
Todd Szegedy would like nothing better than getting to victory lane here. Talk about one other guy you got to keep an eye on. He's been struggling in this race, but he has 4 Whelen Modified Tour victories. The man behind the wheel of Old Blue, one of the long-standing cars here in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. Talking about 19-year-old Ryan Preece. Right now he's struggling just a little bit, falling back in the pack after qualifying up front. Ryan Preece hoping to get back to the front today.
Preece currently 13th. Can Ted Christopher, who finished second last year, win it? Or will Mike Stefanik, Todd Szegedy, James Savali, or somebody else wind up atop the Victory Lane building and celebrate here at Bristol? Thunder Valley, what a beautiful place. You climb the Blue Ridge Mountains, you settle into eastern Tennessee, and then up from the hills rises this great super speedway that seats 165,000. And a lot of those seats will be full tonight when you see the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series setup presented by Polaris at 7:30. And then at 8 p.m. the O'Reilly 200. All coming up next here on Speed. Ted Christopher, Mike Stefanik the front row, Todd Szegedy, James Savali, Ryan Newman, pole sitter, rookie Justin Bonsignor, Eric Goodale, Dale Quarterly, Bobby Santos, and Woody Pitkat the top 10.
Whoa.
Second half, here we go in the University of Northwestern Ohio Perfect Storm 150.
And Teddy took off. He was on the gas. Really caught Stefanik napping.
Szegedy trying the bottom. Can't move on Stefanik, who covers both lanes.
Yeah, everybody's looking to pass Stefanik, so he's got to cover both lanes.
These teams were allotted 4 tires for this event. A lot of the teams, not all, changed 4 during the halftime break. The teams also have an emergency set in case of a cut tire or bent wheel. Front 4, single file.
And this is nothing unusual to see Teddy Christopher in front of a pack of modifieds. On Thursday night at Thompson, Connecticut Speedway, he led virtually every lap of the Tour race. They have a local series there called the Sunoco Modifieds, and he led virtually all of that one.
Looking to make some noise is Dale Quarterly in the 52, the ex-motorcycle road racer and longtime Busch North competitor. He was trying Bonsignor for 2 straight laps there. Winner on the road course at Lime Rock, where he felt very at home. First time for the modifieds ever in the history of that racetrack. And I thought he had something for Bonsignor, but now Bonsignor has a look underneath Ryan Newman. That would be for 5th place. There's the rookie from Riverhead.
Yeah, going against the veteran Ryan Newman.
Stefanik bumps Teddy for the lead.
Let's see, that was one bump, right, Mike?
Well, that's like stepping on Superman's cape. All you do is make him mad.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Stefanik on the bottom.
Yeah. That almost wasn't pretty.
No.
You don't want to get that right front tire into the bumper. The car ahead of him.
And Stefanik can't mess up because he's got Savali right behind him.
And Savali has Todd Szegedy giving him the bump off turn 2.
Yeah, we're doing the bumper game now.
Everybody wants to establish position and then try to ride out and defend the last 50 laps.
And Szegedy continues to like that higher lane. Even when he doesn't have to be up there, he is. Here comes Stefanik again on the bottom.
And Teddy covers the spot. Just enough room for the 16. And now Mike hits the gas, not Teddy. And they're side by side at the finish line. Savali looks to the bottom. He does the chop job and cuts off the number 2 of Szegedy.
Stefanik's got it, Mike.
I love these cars just cut and run. And Mike Stefanik becomes the 3rd leader of the day.
As Bobby Dillner pointed out, Stefanik has not won since last year. No wins so far for him. Looking mighty good tonight. This is the best run of the year so far for Stefanik.
Whoa, who got loose there?
Savali, right out sideways.
55 laps to go next time. Looks like Christopher wants the lead back. Then falls in line. He's pushing Stefanik down the straightaway.
You'll see a lot of that in the race from New Hampshire Speedway in September on speed. They push each other down those long straightaways lap after lap.
Richie Pillai has come to pit road. The rookie did a good job. He was 2 laps down at the break. Now he's got trouble. But up front, oh, this is a great battle.
But Christopher is up, he's down, he's all over the back bumper of Stefanik, trying to figure out how to get by.
And how not to use up his tires in doing so.
Well, that's the rest of it. We've still got a ways to go. We're only on lap number 98 of 150.
Christopher had a good drive off, but the lap car, Gene Pack, kept him from completing the move. Moving past Wade Cole, longtime campaigner out of Riverton, Connecticut. Christopher again looks for the bottom shot. Almost dipped a wheel down on the track apron.
Yeah, he did. He upset the car when he did that.
So it's Stefanik in the 16, Christopher in the 13. Szegedy, Savali, Newman still 5th. Bonsignor, Santos, Quarterly, Goodale, and Priest, the top 10.
Stefanik now just running his line, Mike. He's able to keep the car. Another bump from TC, and another one.
I'm here.
Yeah, he sure is.
Don't forget I'm here.
But Stefanik can be nice and smooth, and that'll help save his tires. Where Teddy is running up, he's running down, he's running all over the racetrack, and that's going to abuse those tires more.
Christopher's just getting such a good launch off the corner. And Stefanik is able to cover that bottom lane, and Teddy has not tried the top in a while. 48 laps to go. Now Christopher looks upstairs, crosses under. He's got a little coverage and has to back out of it. Does it get any better than this?
I don't think so.
Oh. All of this dueling has brought Todd Szegedy back to the leaders. They had run away from Szegedy, but there he is, just 5 car lengths back. .46 laps to go at Bristol. Stefanik battling Christopher, Szegedy, Savali, and Newman looking in. Mike Stefanik in the 16 trying to hold off. Ted Christopher, 2 of the race's 3 leaders so far. Teddy's got the room on the outside, but Steffi's got the drive off the corner this time.
And that was a very gentlemanly-like thing for Stefanik to do. He saw Christopher coming on the outside. He could have crowded him, gave him the room that Christopher needed, and here they are, side by side for the lead.
But here's trouble. Traffic. Jamie Tomeno just ahead. He may be the pick that Christopher needs, and Teddy takes back the lead.
And look at this. Szegedy has closed right in 3rd spot.
The most recent of Mike Stefanik's 70 victories was last September at Martinsville, 13 races ago. Back here, Ryan Newman in the 7th. In 5th place, Bonsignor in 6th. Santos in 7th. Bob?
Ryan Newman just does not have the car that he would like here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. I just spoke to his crew chief, Kevin Daniel-Mannion, Jamie McMurray's crew chief on the Cup Series, and he told me for the 2nd straight year, it's just loose, loose, loose. They can't get any drive coming up off the corner. They tried a little wedge, and they also tried some air pressure at the brake, but still pretty loose for the 7 car, the 7 and wide. After Tom Baldwin back in the day, but Ryan Newman running that car for all it's worth here today.
Mannion, another modified grad. He's from West Boylston, Massachusetts. And Teddy just comes right down in front of Mike Stefanik. And now it is a 4-car battle for the lead as they come up to lap Burt Myers in the 14. Trouble back straightaway. Smoker, L.W. Miller, the winner at Bowman Gray, coast down onto the apron. Did he put any fluid down on that back straightaway? Doesn't appear so. We're going to remain green.
Now, and Miller may have just seen his championship chances blow up. He had been the point leader coming into this event.
.37 laps to go. Szegedy stalking Stefanik's number 16. We're going to work around Jason Myers, who also had a really good car in Bowman Gray in the last Southern Modified Tour race. Ran second to his brother for much of the race, but ended up 4th.
That's another one of those Ford-powered cars. It's a tour-only car. He doesn't run that car at Bowman Gray. Too nice a car to dent up there.
Beautiful machine.
No, it is. It really is.
There's his brother Bert. Bert took the restart at halfway in 12th, but they may have gone the wrong way on the setup. You see him fishtailing a bit. Myers currently runs at 14th. This Saturday night, he's the point leader at Bowman Gray in Winston-Salem, and he'll try to sew up the track championship there.
And that's the track championship, not the tour championship.
Right. 3rd place, James Savali in the 79, closing on Todd Szegedy's number 2. They've lost about a car length to the lead battle, but that's it. Christopher does not have a lot of breathing room in that red number 13. Ted Christopher came in here leading the Whelen Modified Tour by 14 points. 37 career wins. Will it be 38 tonight? Stay tuned. 150. Ted Christopher has led most of the laps. Todd Szegedy and Mike Stefanik had their turns out front. They are now third and second respectively, with James Savali fourth, Ryan Newman fifth. Bonsignor, Santos, Quarterly, Goodale, and Priest the top 10. Still 16 cars on the lead lap.
We remember last year when Teddy Christopher had the dominant car in this event, adjusted the car out of contention in the second half. That doesn't seem to have happened tonight. Christopher's car every bit as good in this second half of the event as it was in the first. Stefanik now, car number 16, dropping back a little bit.
Bob, it looks like it's time to ride here and then maybe see what you've got these last 10 laps. What do you think?
I think you're right. Maybe letting the tires cool off just a little bit, but it's a tale of two race cars for the top two guys here during this race. Teddy Christopher's car still a little bit loose off, and that's where Mike Stefanik gobbles him up. But Mike Stefanik just still a little bit snug. He tried to loosen that car up in the halfway break, but not loose enough for Mike Stefanik, who's underneath Teddy Christopher.
That could be the pass for the lead as Savali closes right up on the 2 leaders. Stefanik tries it again and comes off hard on turn number 4. Christopher won't give an inch. They touch. And Stefanik emerges first from turn 2.
Whoa! Savali sideways in the 79 car.
And he got into Szegedy, and here comes Newman. 5 cars racing for the win.
Did you say they were cruising a moment ago? I don't think so.
24 laps to go. Stefanik hit the button, and everybody scrambled for a spot. Newman is up to 4th. Lapped traffic ahead. Lots of it. 5 cars to get through. 24 to go. Last time, Christopher used lap traffic as a pick to get the lead. And they are double wide. Flemke and Silk. Now they're going to fall single file. Here comes Newman on the bottom. Up to second. Can he get to Stefanik? Can he move Christopher? Yes! A rocket goes to second.
And 3 wide right behind him.
Now Savali tries the bottom as they lap past Eric Beers in the 76. It's anybody's guess who's going to win this.
Yeah, Christopher's car, though, is going sideways, Mike. I think he's lost the tires on that thing.
Newman got a great run off, too, and he all but turns Stefanik.
That was a veteran move by Stefanik to hang on to that car and not run it into the fence. This is getting intense. What?
20 laps to go. Newman the high side again. Stefanik blocks. Newman the high side again. His owner and crew chief Kevin Mannion's already been to victory lane this year in the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400. So why not the modifieds at Bristol? Newman to the lead.
And that is exactly the same car Newman won the race with at New Hampshire back in June, beating Teddy Christopher on the last lap to do it.
Now Bobby Santos has joined the battle for the lead. There are 6 cars lined up. Who's going to win it? 17 laps to go. Ryan Newman leads. "17 laps to go. Bobby Santos the third is starting to make a move. He had the inside on Savali, didn't have the grip off the corner. Now he's back battling with Szegedy. Santos in the Mystic Missile number 4 of Bob Garbarino, champion car owner with Donnie Leah. And Santos just doesn't have it on the bottom to get up there even with the rest of the leaders. Ryan Newman right there in that bright green and navy blue car. He won the nationwide race here in 2005. Mike Stefanik in second in the 16. Ted Christopher the 13. James Savali in the Hillbilly Racing 79. Then side by side, Szegedy in the 2. Santos in the 4 as they lap past Ed Flemke Jr. in the number 10.
And you're seeing these cars wiggle a lot, and that's for 2 reasons. 1, the tires are gone. They just don't have the grip. And 2, the drivers want to win so bad they are taking these cars right to the limit and sometimes over it. Look at Christopher. Look at Christopher's car wiggle, just all over the place.
But look at the car control he has.
Yeah, so far.
No aerodynamic downforce in these cars. Anything but just that big Lexan clear rear spoiler and a big shuffle for a nose between the 2 front wheels. That's what you got. You got 11 laps to go.
And his whole gang up front thinks they can win this race in those 11 laps.
Traffic is a factor again. Jamie Tomato goes down a lap to the leaders. Now, ooh, a smoker. It's Christopher. Something has gone amiss on the number 13. And Ted Christopher will not win in Bristol tonight.
And that'll be his first DNF of the year.
Lapping Wade Cole in the 33. Performance Engines, Ryan's Oil Chevy. Newman and Stefanik are just that close for the win with 9 laps to go.
Stefanik hungry, looking at the bottom.
And it's a 2-car race. The lap cars have taken them away from Savali, Santos, and Zegedy.
Stefanik working that steering wheel.
Two great champions, one of them will likely end up in victory lane here at Bristol. Six laps to go, Bob.
Oh my, Mike, you should see this engine has exploded down here for Teddy Christopher. Oil pouring out from underneath the car. Teddy Christopher not all too happy as he's about to climb out of that 13 car.
Stefanik was side by side, but again, the lap car was a factor.
Teddy was worried about that motor, Mike. He said that they run so many RPM here at Bristol. It was a concern before the race started.
4 laps to go.
Stefanik on the bottom.
The fans here have gotten their money's worth and more. And don't forget, the Camping World Truck Series is coming up next, live from Bristol. 3 laps to settle it.
And it's going to be between these two.
4th place, Santos and Zegedy, but for the lead, Stefanik one more time on the bottom, but Newman has the drive off the corner. 2 to go. Savali safe in 3rd. 1st and 4th are the 2 battles. White flag this time over Ryan Newman. And Flemke Jr. limping down on the apron. And Stefanik slipped up. What happened in turns 1 and 2? Newman suddenly has a big lead. And the rocket Ryan Newman will send Kevin Mannion to victory lane again.
2 tries, 2 wins for Newman and Mannion. Stefanik second again.
Savali, Santos, Zegedy, the top 5. Pole sitter Bonsignor, Quarterly, Goodale, Priest, Rudolph, the top 10. Burt Myers, a nice recovery to 11th from the back of the field. Chuck Hosfeld and Woody Pitcat were the other cars to finish on the lead lap. This is Kevin Mannion's hobby stock. When he is not working for Ganassi Racing and running the car for Jamie McMurray, this is his hobby. This is his fun. Bob's with him.
Kevin Mannion, all smiles down here. I thought you said it was way too loose.
Yeah, you know, Gary and Russell and Sammy, all the guys on the team, you know, we worked hard for 2 years here to try to tighten the car up, and we still didn't. But I don't know what we did on that pit stop, but we might have did something. It didn't look good in the beginning. I think he was just saving his tires there at the beginning of that run, and the leaders started racing real hard, and you know, it was just a really, really good, been a good year, and got a lot to be thankful for. Got to thank God, and just doing a lot of praying, and things are working out. So it's been Ryan Newman, and can't say enough about Ryan Newman, Aggressive Hydraulics, Menards, and Ryan Newman Foundation.
Hey, you've won the Brickyard 400 and the Daytona 500 in 1 year. Now you've won the mod race at Bristol. Where does that stand?
This stacks up. Just because you know, we came here last year and we're wrecked out on the first lap. So you know, this is pretty high in the book for Gary and myself. We put an awful lot of effort into this program, and I'm just glad it's paying off, and I'm glad Ryan Newman has such a good time and making our life have a great time with it.
And why does this mean so much, Mike Joy? Because he's a modified guy.
Well, sure, he's won the 2 biggest races in the Cup Series this year, and he's won New Hampshire and Bristol in the modifieds. Here's what happened to Mike Stefanik entering turn 1.
Looked like just a little bit of a push. He tried to grab hold of it and just wiggled. This ought to be something. Watch this.
trying to go for the lead. And missed it by that much. We'll talk to Mike Stefanik and go to Victory Lane, where Ryan Newman has won the University of Northwestern Ohio Perfect Storm 150. Coming up next, live on Speed, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Who will join Ryan Newman in Victory Lane tonight? The setup presented by Polaris next, and then the O'Reilly 200. Don't touch that dial. Bob Dillner's in Victory Lane with the Rocket.
The Rocket climbing out of this car. He just whispered to me and said, it's going to take me a second to get out of this car. But he's a happy guy. 2 modified races this year, 2 Whelen Modified Tour victories. Ryan Newman, a win here in the Modified at Bristol. Where does that stack up?
It might be my best win here. The nationwide win was pretty cool, but I've got to thank Bono and all these guys, Aggressive Hydraulics and Menards. Just a great opportunity, a fun race. I mean, I thought that was a great modified race and a great race at Bristol. So glad to be ending up in Victory Lane, but I look forward to the rest of the weekend as well.
I want to know, with about 20 laps to go, you were pretty far behind. Where the heck did you come from?
Got a good break there coming off of 4. They checked up, and I had to use up Teddy just a little bit down in 1 and 2, but that's what they put Nerf bars on them for, I guess. It was fun racing. Just didn't know if there was going to be yellow to come out or what to spoil our victory there. But just kind of hanging on there at the end. My car started off tight that run and went loose, and I was just kind of hanging on, running the high side, guarding my offense.
Well, Ryan Newman in Victory Lane here. We'll see if he can make it 3 in a row when we get to New Hampshire on Speed in September.
Well, sometimes the best offense is a good defense. Watch this. Newman with that bright yellow cover, number 7. Teddy got in to the back there of Stefanik just a little bit, and that opened the door. Hello, Newman. There's where he uses up Teddy just a little bit and gets up to Stefanik's bumper. And here, Dick, the pass for the lead.
Working on it, working on it. And you want to know how hard it worked. The sweat was pouring off Ryan Newman's face in Victory Lane as he's trying Stefanik on the outside, the hard way around, working the wheel.
But give credit to Mike Stefanik, who ran him clean, gave him plenty of room for his race car, and wound up second. Bob is with Mike Stefanik.
Mike Stefanik and I just kind of kidding around here. Mike, you gave it all it was worth, almost, and I know you're not satisfied with that, are you?
No, because it was my fault on the stop. I made the call to free the car up, and Sly, my crew chief, didn't want to stick the rubber in the right rear. He wanted to go with just a stagger adjustment. I didn't think that was going to be enough, but I don't know what the set came in at. But my guys, I'm so proud of the Flamingo Motorsports team. I mean, we've had some tough runs this year. We've had some good runs. And Ryan Newman, congratulations. You know, classy guy to race with. Enjoyed the heck out of it. I mean, it was doggy-dog up there between me, TC, and Savali. I mean, we were definitely gouging. And I'm like, wow, going kind of fast for me, like sideways and, you know, gouging the right front and feeling the rear end go down to the ground off the corner. But that's modified racing, folks. Whelen Modified Tour. It's awesome.
Spoken like a true champion.
Which he is. Newman the winner, Stefanik, Savali, Santos, Zegedy, Bonsignor the rookie, Quarterly the road racer, Eric Goodale, Ryan Preece, Eric Rudolph, the young driver. 11th, Burt Myers. He will get winner's points for the Southern Modified Tour, the first of those drivers. To finish, Hosfeld and Pitcat were on the lead lap. Eric Beers, Ron Silk, Kevin Goodale 1 lap down, Frank Fleming 2 back. And here is the rest of the field. Christopher credited with 26 after falling out with engine trouble. Was this fun or what?
I had a great time, but so did the drivers. I mean, Stefanik said it for all of them.
The setup for the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series presented by Polaris is next. The O'Reilly 200 follows live right here on Speed. We'll see you at the Whelen Modifieds in New Hampshire in September.